Call this meeting of City Council to order here at City Hall, November 16th, 2021. Are there any additions to the agenda this evening?
I need a 10-minute executive session for non-elected personnel, attorney-client.
Have an addition to the agenda, or give a second on that?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the table. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Are there any other additions to the agenda? Okay, are there any citizens' comments this evening? No. Okay, consent agenda, approved minutes, regular council meeting, November 2nd, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Appropriation ordinance, 11/16/2021, in the amount of $173,042.87.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion.
Abstain.
We have two motions, to approve. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't need,
Well,
Voting.
It's a tie.
So you would have
Oh,
to
Yeah,
do,
we both.
okay, then, vote yay, so, motion approved. Okay, department heads, do we hear anything from Jeff this evening?
He called us, he says he's gonna be late, but they're still trimming trees and looking at the plan.
they got the radiators set, I saw.
Well, it's not set, it's just there, and then the motor's set beside it.
Oh, it is. It looks like it was set, I guess. It's right up against the building.
Yeah.
No motor though.
No more.
All right. Well, I guess we can wait till Jeff gets here. If you have any questions, we can ask him.
These expenses that we keep coming from Fully Cat and others, and that's all from the generator, the total amount that we agree upon. I mean, there's not very much additional, I guess you guys are
The
keeping
the
an eye
only
on
thing,
that.
I think last meeting we approved one purchase that was work done on the old.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's been some work
Yeah.
done,
Right.
but I just,
But yeah, all these other ones are just
not really going yet.
No.
I think that
Above
was
and
two
beyond.
two
Right,
meetings
no,
ago.
yeah.
Last meeting we did one for
Yeah.
I just want to.
concrete work or something for this new one.
Sticking to
Yeah.
work,
Okay,
so.
keep to the budget on that, so. Okay.
Maybe we ought
I was assuming it
maybe
was
we ought to
like
get
that.
Jamie to put that
That's a good
stuff on the
question.
spreadsheet so we can track it.
I think it'd be a bad idea when it's all spread out like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Was there a projection date you know of, Jason, that was gonna be done?
No, I
No.
know. Nope.
They poked a hole in the radiator when it was in Nebraska, and ever since then it's just been delayed.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what they did?
Something like that.
It's a crane or something.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna move on to Water Department. Jason.
Well, there's two things. Rosencrantz come, we got the pump moved. And we need to they're gonna get a reducer down from 6 to 3. And we got the meter there and the check there. And so I borrowed a saw from Davis, a hole saw. I got it cut through the wall for 3. And we're waiting on them to get back, and hopefully we get going on that here pretty quick. And the second one is the tower guys will be starting here tomorrow. And they're gonna start building the hood, and they're gonna get it painted. And then I think it's gonna be Sunday. A couple of us gotta come in, and we gotta start draining that tower. And then from Sunday afternoon, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be running out of the plant, nitrate plant. And then they're going to get the crane to come here on Monday and get the old roof off and put the new one on. And then they're going to go ahead and do their coat inside, and then we could hopefully fill it Wednesday afternoon. So, knock on wood, we'll see how it goes.
Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for Jason under Water Department?
Do we have to do it, they're gonna wanna block the street off, I guess, does that matter to the school?
Well, I think they're just gonna do
But
it
they
right
gonna
out
put
here in the
on the
parking
backside.
lot, in the dirt parking lot back here. That's where they're gonna build everything. Yeah. And well, the only reason we're gonna block block a road is because we gotta put that on the fire hydrant, that relief valve, and then have it going 3 or 4 days. So you'll see a lot of water wasted, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So.
But there's no not having water, right?
What's that?
There's not gonna be a chance of us not having water, is there?
I hope not. No, the last time we did it for a day, and it worked pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, I just hate seeing water wasted. That's all.
Right.
You know, do it.
And as far as you know, there's not gonna be a need to notify the school of any street closure right here?
I hope not. No.
Okay. If there does, just please let the, get with the high school office and the elementary, the district office.
Yeah, they'll be building the roof probably till Sunday
Okay.
or Saturday,
Mhm.
and then that's when he said I got to talk to the foreman when he gets here tomorrow and then get everything planned out. But that's the way the main guy from South Dakota told me today
Okay.
and yesterday.
All right, good. Excellent.
So yeah.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns for Jason or the Water Department? Okay, moving on. Street Department. What you got, Jason?
Nothing on that one yet.
Nothing on that. Okay. Anybody got any questions, comments, or concerns for Jason under Street and Park Department?
Well, Jason, I was driving down West Street, that street drain that's like right by Trent's. Does that get like filled up with a bunch of dirt? You know what I'm talking about? On the east side of the road? There's that drain for the road.
Trent.
Catch basin down my old co-op.
Oh,
Like I drove by there and it just seems like the dirt just washed out in there.
it's been washing in there. Marshall would talk to me one day and we tried to dig it out, and I got it dug down in there. We were talking about putting a little cement pit there so the dirt can catch, and then that's when the truck, we were trying to get it vacked out, and the truck went haywire there.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah,
It just
that's
looks like there's a ton of dirt going in there.
oh yeah.
So-
And that's why I was hoping, to get that truck going or something, so we can get it backed out of there.
Okay.
But other than that, because we were actually talking about building some kind of a grade there, so deep, so that when that dirt would hit that instead of going down in there first.
It needs something.
Yeah, it needs something there. But that's what it is as of now.
Okay.
And as soon as we get that vac truck back, then we can start trying to get it washed back out again and start pulling it. Yep.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns for Jason? Moving on. Police Department, Chief Perez.
I don't have anything.
Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for Chief Perez this evening?
Is there a start date for the new guy?
It's already started.
Oh, no kidding.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
What is that? Michael Crane? When is that his name?
Craven.
Craven.
When's his graduation?
January 14th.
Okay, a couple months you'll be on. Just two of you then? Because Dustin's about done, isn't he?
Yeah, Dustin's last day is Saturday.
Okay. So it's just two of you full-time and two part-time?
Mhm.
Cool.
And Aaron's vest came in, so he just actually picked up some shifts last night, so Aaron's on schedule now too.
Awesome.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns for Chief? Okay, moving on. Fire Chief, Chief Sanders.
I don't have anything.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah.
Add Bailey Schrag to the
Yeah,
department?
yeah. I do have something.
So you'd like to add Bailey Schrag to the department?
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a motion on that?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Or any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries.
That's all I have.
Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for Chief Sanders?
You never have anything, and the one time you do, you don't remember.
Why do you think Jamie put it on the agenda?
All right. Okay, moving on to City Administrator. What do we got?
Do you want me to bring the camera thing?
Yeah, we'll talk about it up on old
Okay.
business.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't have anything.
Okay. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns to pass on to Jamie this evening? Okay, moving on. City Attorney, John.
I don't have anything.
You're making this too easy, John. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for John this evening? Okay, moving on to old business. We have a quote here from INA Alert System Cameras. Anybody have any questions for Jerry?
So looking at your map here, Jerry, where it shows the cameras, that's obviously where the cameras are. Where are these?
That's the proposed locations for them. Is that your question?
Well, crosshairs.
Huh?
Some of them are cameras and some of them are like a crosshair.
Those are the 360, the degree in which the camera's shining.
And then the ones that are just a camera, is that just a direct, like
Just
a
a
one
direct,
direction?
just a directional.
Okay.
I'm gonna have some questions. I just need to sit down and read that. That's a bit overwhelming.
There's a business card in there too for the tech guy.
Yeah, if there's any technical questions, you know, this
It's
quote
a
is
folder.
included, everything's included except the internet connection, which when they was out here, talked to the city and the county, and everybody was of the consensus they would do their own internet connections or Wi-Fi or whatever. But if you have any technical questions of that sort, call Jordan. His card's in one of those folders I left up there at the technical office. He's a guru on that stuff where I'm not. And there's individual quotes per location, and then, you know, however you guys, if you approve it, you can approve one or approve it all, but they did it individually so you could see what it costs at each location.
Well, ours are all just together, aren't they? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't see them.
yeah, our quote's just one big quote for,
Oh,
The
yeah,
city.
for the city, I guess that is right. Yeah, yours is separate, Marshall.
mine was all
For the
separated
fire
out for the
department,
fire
and the
department.
county's is separate.
So when you said the county's was game for paying for part of this, have you heard anything?
All I can tell you is I have a meeting next Wednesday with the commissioners over the cameras. I don't know what the sheriff's department's gonna do. I know that the fire department budget, as far as the fire stations go, I'll be putting cameras on all the fire stations in the county.
With county money?
With fire department funds out of the fire department's budget, whether there's any COVID money that can be applied to it or not.
Well, it's hard for me to justify spending $75,000 on this, knowing that we have streets that need worked on and other stuff. I mean, our sewer. That's where I stand on it.
Okay.
These two in the middle, I guess that's on the square, huh?
Yeah, one on this corner and one over on that corner. Me and Tori and, well, all of us met in here that morning and picked out the locations here. Actually, we've done the whole entire county sitting in here off of Google Maps.
I like the idea of it, but I do agree with you, Tony. I mean, the price is a little overwhelming. I mean, but I do like the idea of it.
I had done some looking at our budget, where money can come from. without touching any other fund, you could use 1% sales tax. And in theory, we on average, it's $12,000 a month we receive in on sales tax. So in theory, in just call it 6 months, you could pay for them cameras and not pull from any other fund.
What will be the upkeep of these running for, next year and in 2 years and 3 years? And
There's
ballpark?
5-year warranty on everything, Ross. If you have trouble with something, they just come out and replace it. You call them up and say, hey, something's not working right. If they can't, they'll send a service tech out. If he can't fix it, he'll just replace it. And that's good for 5 years.
And then as far as their monitoring a system like this, is there a bid in there? What would,
If you want the company to do that after 90 days, they do it for free for the first 90 days. And if you want them to keep doing that, they check it every morning to make sure it's up and running properly for the first 90 days. Then after that, it's like $60 or $90 a month if you want them to keep doing that. But there's nothing.
per camera or
No.
per system?
No, for the whole system. And it's nothing contractual, it's not a contract that you gotta pay every month unless you guys decide to do that. And after the first, a lot of people, they don't have very many people doing that. After the first 90 days, people usually have it figured out themselves and they just check it themselves. Most companies do. But we do offer that, on the side, if the city would prefer to have them check it every day, it's $60 or $90 a month to just keep doing that.
And we would have to supply the Wi-Fi to each one of these, is that, no, that's not good?
No, all we have to do is basically use the Wi-Fi because everything would come back to this office.
Servers in here?
Each one of them cameras has its own to communicate back to.
Radio,
Yeah, it's all done with, I think, radio frequency is what they said.
yeah. And it'd be centrally located, I believe, in the sheriff's department, in the dispatch office over at the courthouse. I think is what they were considering. Where
Well,
it
I
can
think
be.
ours is gonna be here, the server and everything.
Oh, was it going, okay, that could very well be.
Yeah,
Well, you know, it needs 110 volts each camera, dude.
and when you're putting them on a power pole, light pole, there's already 110 volts there.
I guess the way I would justify it in my mind, and maybe I'm looking at this wrong, but I feel like that's a way to free up Tory or whoever is, this is like having an officer at every intersection 24/7. Is that the way you look at it, I guess? A set of eyes everywhere?
Kind of. I think it would help with, like vehicles we had stolen out of here. If it's a vehicle from out of town, we're like, it's a dead end for us. I think these cameras would help. Even if we could read like a vehicle description, because with the thefts we've had, they've happened and nobody has witnessed them. So it's another thing. We wouldn't necessarily have to prosecute off of that, but it would help your investigation. It's at least a starting point instead of just a dead end from the get-go.
Yeah.
I guess I'd kind of like to see a cost breakdown of each location. I don't know. You hate to split it up and do some and not the others. It's kind of pointless if you don't do all the outlets of town, but I don't know.
Well, and really,
That's a big chunk of,
the only three that aren't, I don't know what the ones with like the crosshairs on them cost, the ones that do 360 degree. Yeah, dude, they're $2,100 a piece. You could get away with not putting the two on the square.
right?
And then we had put one out there at 4th Street and 281,
Right.
just because we had nothing that showed the shortstop. I know they have cameras, but I don't think they're the greatest. So you could shave some cost off of it with, you could shave 7, 2, 4,
Didn't you say you had
$5,000.
the individual locations, Jerry, or is that something you have to come up with?
No,
Totally separate?
not for the city's quote. They didn't separate it all out. They
See,
just
they
put-
separated mine out for the county fire departments because I've got a station at each city.
Per
And so
building.
mine were done per building.
Okay.
And then since the counties was spread out all over the county, there's a separate, they've got like
By
6 or 7
location.
different quotes. I think they've got one for K-19 and 281 and
Yeah.
one for over at Ike and Joe's, I believe they're planning on one. So those are separate, priced out separate because of the distance between them.
Right. I see. I don't know. That's a lot. Right?
I mean, the way I'm looking at it, because it does sound like a great idea and it sounds beneficial, but, you know, we have media we're looking at in the near future for the plan out there. You know, we need to be attacking getting these roads done. There's a ton of guttering that needs done. We need to take care of what we have now. Why spend money on another thing that we're gonna have to spend on money in the future when we can't even keep up with what we have now? That's the way I'm looking at it. But it sounds dandy, but it just doesn't make sense to me to spend that kind of money right now. And I was considering it at around 30,000, and now adding those cameras and everything. Jesus.
Probably Jim Green.
I just like to think about it.
Yeah.
That's more than I was expecting. I'll be honest. I'm a little overwhelmed on that. I mean, $75,000 is a lot of money. I mean, it really is. But I mean,
It's a good idea. I don't know.
and maybe it's not all or nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the way I look at it.
Some sort of emergency?
Can we table that till next meeting? Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
And have-
This quote's good for 30 days, so
Have Jimmy put it back on the
just leave it on the agenda. and-
agenda, or leave it on the agenda.
Okay.
I can tell you that after the first of the year, stuff's gonna go up. I don't know how much. That's what they're telling us now anyway, but I know they'll honor this quote for 30, 45 days. And if there's a little bit of increase, I know the company they'll eat that too, so just so you know that it could possibly go up substantially after the first of the year. But there again, I don't know how much, they're saying everything's going up too, so keep that in mind.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for your information, Jerry.
You bet.
Appreciate it. Okay, let's see, everything else on the old businesses. Anyone need to discuss anything else under old business? Yes.
It's not old business, but I have a question I gotta ask before we get out of
Okay.
here. Real quick, what antennas are good on top of that tower? Does anybody know that question? Because I've been asking and I cannot find out. Because he's needing to build the brackets on top of that, for all those antennas up there, and I didn't know if we need them all back up there.
Are they all hooked up to something?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's why I was asking. Because I heard one of them was Jim Dorn's. If that's true or not.
I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't know what's up there.
I think before the roof comes down, we need to know what to go to though.
Well, it's either that or I'll
I don't
just
wanna
tell
get
them to make
involved.
sure they all go back up. But I mean, if there
That
wasn't no
would be-
sense of having them there, it's just more cost for them to put them back up.
Yeah, I don't
You
even
know,
there's
build those
antennas up
brackets
there.
and all that.
But we need to know what they go to before that roof gets poured.
Well, I don't know if they go to the city's radios that they use here in the city office, whether there's an antenna up. I would assume that's where it is, but I don't.
I mean, do we agree we need to find out before
We
the
need
roof
to
comes
find out
down?
before they does come down. Can you make a note of that and just have Jamie look into that, please? Okay.
I don't know where you start at or who you
Yeah,
talk
I
to.
don't know.
but-
Yeah,
Keep
exactly.
one of those
Yeah.
electric
But that's why they pay,
protective
that's why we
things
pay
that
the
lights
big
up
bucks.
on the current.
Well, the only thing I figured just build them, I guess, and then leave them off, and somebody says, "Hey, what's going on here?" Then I guess somebody climb right back up there and put them up. But I was just curious because he asked me twice, and I said, "I'm trying. I can't tell you that."
Okay.
It's a good question, Jason. I guess I don't know who to contact, but
We'll have Jamie look into it, and maybe she could find out who might know.
Okay,
So
I don't know if you
it may
guys
be a
might know
while.
or not. I figured-
Somebody would at least
It's worth
lease
asking.
or something.
The what?
private entity leased space on top of the water tower? I mean,
Well, that's what I was saying, maybe she knows, maybe somebody's paying dues on it every year or something to keep them up there.
What they're getting it for free.
Well, that's the thing, is if everybody's antennas up there, they need to be getting money for it.
I guess check with emergency.
Yeah.
You know, dispatch. I don't
There
know.
ain't nothing up there
I
for the
know, but I
cities
mean,
or the counties.
I know.
All of
Well,
ours sit
that's
down
the-
at
That's the
the,
only thing that'd be like maybe.
they sit
take
down at the, road and bridge department,
Yeah, that's.
because we updated all that, put a brand new antenna up. So the only thing it could possibly be would be whatever the city uses.
Well, we don't find out, just tell them to put it back.
Okay. All right. Okay, anything, under old business, council wants to discuss?
Oh, did you find out on those doors in the library, do they work with power off?
No, they do not. I sent Jamie the information on that. Did she not send that to you? To any of you? No? Okay. No, they do not work. If the power goes out, that's it. They unlock and they stay open. So, I mean, they're,
But if the power's out, and the tornado sounds after the power's out,
say that again?
if the power goes out and then
Right.
the alarm sounds, they're not open, right?
They're unlocked. They're only the one door locks magnetically. If the power goes out, that door is going to be open.
Okay.
The one door we lock manually every night. I lock that manually every night. But once the power's out, that thing will not lock. So somebody will be able to get in.
Okay.
You know. So
That's what we want, isn't it?
yes.
Okay.
We want people to get in there.
Yeah,
But
no,
if
I'm
the
sorry,
pow-
I thought you said it wasn't working.
The power is what keeps it locked.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right,
So
okay.
if the power goes out, that door's gonna, so
Okay.
even if it goes out without a tornado, that door's gonna be unlocked.
Right.
Right, yeah, okay, I just thought you said it wasn't working, okay, yeah, that's what we want.
Good.
Right.
So we can take that off, right?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Go ahead and take that off then.
Yep.
All right. Okay, unless there's anything else under old business we need to discuss, we have two executive sessions. First one is 10 minutes to discuss employee performance and review for police chief position.
Who all's involved in that one?
I'm assuming going to be council, everyone around the table, and chief of police. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. We will resume at 7:38. Call this meeting back to order. I would ask for a motion to extend the executive session for another 5 minutes
To include us
to
around the
include
table.
everyone around the table and the chief.
Well,
No,
just the
just
everybody at the
table.
table.
Oh, excuse me.
Just us at the table.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. We will resume at 7:43.
Heck, the school board does every 10 minutes.
Call this meeting back to order. So, do we need to extend the executive session? Okay. How long?
7
minutes
minutes,
is
like you
good.
said. One thing.
Okay. All right, that'll include everyone around the table. Do I have a motion on the table?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. We'll resume at 7:50. Call this meeting back to order.
I'd make a motion that we hire Tori Perez as the chief of police with $1 an hour raise and her next review a year from today.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries.
anybody gonna ask her if she's interested in the position?
She's taking it.
It's
not an option
First
for
10
you.
minutes.
Pam has already spoken.
What do you think she bought that new Jeep? She's on the phone. Starting to get the payments ironed out.
Before we do that one, you wanna have Jeff back in there to talk?
Okay.
Before we go?
Yeah, I might just let you, I apologize for being late. engine just came to town. It's on the truck. Guys will start in the morning. So
This number.
radiator and muffler came last Thursday, and I think they intend to have it in and done and gone.
I'll put it back.
Okay.
So I don't think it's gonna take very long. The piping will take longer than setting the engine, but by next meeting, I'll have a pretty good update. If you get time, poke your head in the door, see what's going on.
Sounds good, yeah, do that.
Other than that, we just been trimming trees and kinda doing on the end stuff, but that's basically it, so.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we have a 10-minute executive session, non-elected personnel, attorney-client privilege, to include
The table.
the table. Okay. I have a
So
motion.
moved.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. We'll resume at 8:02.
I'll go home and eat supper.
Call this meeting back to order. Unless there's any more business this evening, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the table. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.